All right, so you want to start a car detailing business, but you're kind of worried, scared, not too sure of how to think about your competition. In this video, I'm going to cover my personal take on how I go about competition, and hopefully it can help you move your business forward. So we're going to start off, we have two sections here. We have the beliefs of competition and then the reality of competition. Again, all my personal opinion on how I go about things. But with belief, we'll have that the market is too saturated. I see this time and time again where detailers think just because they have a few, a dozen or so detailers, maybe within 5, 10, 15 miles of their, area of business, that they can't get into business, because obviously on every street corner that you turn, you're going to see a car wash lot, or you're going to see a mobile detailer, or you're going to see another detailer, or perhaps that they just think that there's not enough work to go around for them to to start a business, to stay busy, and to have success. So that's the belief of it. But in reality, is that there's more than enough work to go around for just about every detailer in your area. I know it's sometimes you probably can't really think that. You think that you have 10 detailers within 2 miles, and that they stay busy all the time, and that how can you get their customer base, or how can you start a new business in this area where there's already established detailers. But in reality, I can tell you time and time again, it's not like your city or county has 100 people in that city. I'm sure you have a few thousand, I'm hoping, but again, there's more than enough work to go around. I don't want you to think that just because you see 5 detail shops here, 5 mobile detailers there, they're busy 24/7. You see them post photos on their Facebook, their Instagram, you see their YouTube videos, and you think, okay, they're too busy. They probably take most of this market that I'm in. I can't get into it because I'm just a little fish in the big pond. That is absolutely incorrect. New businesses are always going to start. Small businesses become to medium-sized businesses, and they come to big companies, and then now they're the big company that overshadows everyone else. So as far as there being too many detailers, your market is saturated, completely wrong. You can you can start and it not bother anyone. Just because 5 other detailers start their business within the same month or year, it's not going to deter any more business from your own business or from someone else's business, because there's just there's so much opportunity there. You don't need to worry about just a few detailers. And again, a few detailers could be a dozen, it could be 24. It doesn't matter how many, because you guys are always at different levels, and I don't want to go on too much of a rant, so we'll move on to the next one. But there's more than enough work to go around. Don't mentally block yourself saying that just because these detailers are really busy all the time, that they're taking the entire city, and no other person that wants their car detailed will go to a new detail shop. That's just completely flat out wrong. So the next one is that going back to the established detailers, that obviously you as a new business, you're going in, you're in a business for a week, a month, a couple months here and there, and then you see that there's quite a few local detailers that have been in business for 2 years, 7 years, 15 years, and you're thinking, wow, they have so much experience, they have such a great customer base, they have so many referrals coming in, their marketing is right, they're on the first page of Google. So it kind of belittles yourself, and you're thinking of, can I really compete against these well-established detailers that people really know their name, and they're well known in the city that you're in. But going back to the first one, is that businesses rise, businesses fall, new businesses will come, new businesses will grow, established businesses will fall down. It's just how it works. If no one wanted to enter a market because there was already established companies, then everyone would just buy the same piece of clothing brand, or buy the same food, or go to the same restaurant every single time. Customers look for, there's so many variables when a customer looks for a detail shop, right? And especially locally, it could be that you're 5 minutes closer than the other detailer, so they're gonna rather go to you because they don't want to pass the intersection that they always get annoyed of, or when they're coming home from work, it's more convenient to go to you than to the other person because they have to do it. It's so trivial, but that's the truth, is that it's not just about who's been there the longest or who does the best detailing as far as the actual technical aspect of things, but it encompasses so much more in terms of like the convenience to them, the price, the type of service they're looking for. There's so many things to it that just in itself, being an established detailer that you've been there for 15 years or however long it may be, means kind of absolutely nothing, because even though they've been established for that long, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're the greatest or they're the best or that's what every customer wants. You have to really appeal to your type of customers in terms of what you're going to offer, right? If this high volume shop has been there for 15 years and they do in and out, super quick, super cheap services, and then you open up a real specialized service, let's say you're doing headlight restoration, that's all you do, and then you'll start attracting those type of customers that only want headlight restorations. You'll do great work, and compared to them, to the high volume shop, they're just there's no comparison. You're 10 times better than what they do. You charge more, but you do a greater job, so they're gonna go with you. It's just how it is. There's so many variables that go into it. Don't even sweat that about more established detailers are in your area, because it's not a big deal whatsoever. And then the third one is it ties in back to the established detailer one, is that you're not good enough. So perhaps that you're kind of eyeing your competition's Facebook page or Instagram, their YouTube channel, and you see that they're really good at getting great results, right? They get phenomenal results on these crazy good cars, or they turn these really ugly cars into some really nice cars. But again, for one, don't be spying. I want to say spying, but don't be so focused in what your competition is doing. And I keep putting air quotes to competition, because realistically, detail shops are a one-man show, two-man show, three-man show, maybe 5 employees. And realistically, that's just not really competition, because there's so much work to go around. Is that them having 2 employees is still very limited on growth, which is right here, is that just because they have 2 detailers, 3 detailers, and they're busy 24/7, 7 days a week, they're still limiting themselves, because there's just so much work to go around. I just really want to drill that in. There's so much work to go around that having some competition that's established, that's been there longer, that's bigger than you, doesn't really mean much. You can still be successful, you can still have crazy growth. You just need to really focus on the main things, which is not the actual detailing aspect of things, which is how do I get better results when I'm cleaning wheels. It's how do I market and attract more people into my business so they can come to me instead of the next person down the street. That's the real thing that you need to be focusing on if you're starting a new business and you really want to have some serious growth. Is focusing on how do I get more eyes on my business instead of how do I better my detailing skills. And then the last one here is that 90%, and then that's just a made up number, no scientific, no study whatsoever, but I'm just gonna guesstimate and say 90% of the people that you're detailing, your competition, is not on the same level as you. And that doesn't mean that you're immediately better or you're lesser than someone else. It just means that everyone operates at a different level. This high volume shop does cheap, super quick details, quality not so good. This other person does great work, charges much higher, and there's an average detail might take 4 to 5 hours. And then you have this other person that's mobile detailing and just does maintenance washes. There's different levels, different costs. Customers looking at customers have different taste in what they want to go for, and like with the convenience to them. There's just so many variables and factors to it that there's so many different levels to it. I could keep on saying that, but it's simply true that line up 10 detailers, and then they're gonna have 10 different benefit factors to the customer. So there's so much work to go around. Don't sweat the competition. It's seriously not a big deal. People like in California, New York, Texas, or Houston have some, those are some pretty big markets. And again, there's businesses, coming up left and right. There's detailers, having crazy work. There's, established detailers getting less work for whatever reason. So please don't sweat the competition. There's no reason why thinking there's a lot of competition around you should slow you or your business down. There's more than enough growth, and hustle, do what you need to do, market, learn some sales process. That's the main thing, marketing and sales. Do that and you shall be successful.